G'day, that safety guy here. Yesterday was the International Day of Mourning, and it's to commemorate or remember all the workers around the world that went to work and didn't make it home for whatever reason. It got me thinking. We had a chat yesterday with my coworkers, and some of the stats that I heard were staggering. 2019, there was 900 plus worker deaths in Canada. I also heard today on My Safety First on Instagram that Ontario, 344 deaths were recorded on job sites, on work sites, in 2020. Why is that still happening? It was brought up yesterday that Canada sent Canadian soldiers to Afghanistan for 10 years, put them in harm's way, and we lost 164 soldiers and one civilian over 10 years. But yet in Canada, in Ontario, in 2020, in Ontario alone, we lost 344 plus. There's no bullets, there's no bombs, there's no tanks, there's nobody trying to kill you. And yet, more people have died in 2020 in Ontario than Canadian soldiers passed away in Afghanistan. Now, does that mean that the army is safer, the military is safer? I don't think so. Does that mean that there's no that construction is the Wild West? I don't like to use the word fault, but where do you think the issue lies? Where do you think the issue lies? Is it the worker's fault? Is it the supervisor's fault? The employer's fault? The constructor's fault? Why are people taking these risks? Why are they taking their chances? It happens every day. Safety professionals, we get told the same stuff every day. I don't have time for that. You can't tell me what to do. I'm only going to be up here a minute. I've been doing this for 20 years. I haven't gotten hurt yet. That's what we hear. That's what you guys are telling us. Supervisors, if you see something stupid happening, fix it. It's actually your job. It's your responsibility in Ontario. It's your duty. In Ontario, nowhere in the Green Book does it say the safety person shall. The worker, the employer, the supervisor, the constructor, the owner shall protect the worker. Why are you taking chances on a daily basis, worker? Why? Do you think we like doing paperwork? Do you think we like knocking on the door, telling your wife you ain't coming home? When you take that risk, when you take that risk, and you go past that hazard, and you take that risk, and you die, you're dead. That's it. Lights out, game over. You don't hurt anymore. There's no more pain for you. If you're gonna take a risky action, if you're gonna put yourself in harm's way as a worker, think about what could happen and who's actually affected by that risky behavior. It ain't gonna be you, because you'll be dead. Your wife, your kids, your husband, your mom, your dad, your co-workers, they're affected for days, weeks, months, years after that risky behavior. Designers, architects, engineers, give your head a shake sometimes. Who in their right mind puts a light fixture in the ceiling of a 20-foot tall stairwell? Seriously, why can't you use a wall sconce? Think about it this way. If you go back a couple days, I showed a picture on my Instagram page here of two electricians. They had a ladder. It was probably, I think it was a 10-foot A-frame fiberglass self-standing ladder. Stood up on the wall between the studs pre-drywall, leaning up at an angle attached to the rafter over the stairwell, with the front legs that are supposed to be open and locked dangling in space. to put up a box for that light in that 20-foot ceiling. I can hear the conversation. What are you doing? I'm only going to be here for a minute. Hey, do you think you can get a scaffold up there? Fuck that. It'll take too long. It'll cost too much money. So they'll take that chance. That's what's killing workers. Designers, engineers, architects. Think about that when the house is closed and you've got this amazing foyer. You've got this incredible 20, 25 foot tall stairwell with that lovely light fixture right dead center. How's the homeowner going to change the light bulb? How's the homeowner going to change the light fixture? Safely, smartly. I've been doing safety long enough that I get frustrated. I really want to point the finger. But if a worker dies, there's a whole butterfly effect as to what led to that death. Unfortunately, I've investigated far too many fatalities. I've investigated far too many critical injuries. And I know better that, yeah, there's a whole domino effect that leads to that death. But at the end of the day, somebody, something put that worker in that hazard so that they could take a risk and adopt a risky behavior. And sometimes you get lucky, absolutely. But then there's that one day when your luck runs out and you wind up in a box. And now your family's paying the price. There are days when I am sick and tired of safety. I'm sick and tired of repeating myself over and over and getting the same responses. But this is why we have to have the International Day of Mourning. It's because of these risk behaviors. It's because of hazards that are created, that are ignored. Now, is it money? Is it production? Is that worth more than your life? If I go through the court documents from the government of Ontario, when the Ministry of Labour posts fines and stuff that have happened to employers and workers and stuff, I think the average cost of a worker's life for fatality on site, the most I've ever seen is a fine is $250,000. That's all you're worth. Is $250,000 if you die. $150,000 if you break a leg or lose a limb. That's disgusting. That's not a deterrent. Last minute-itis. I'm only going to be here for a minute-itis. I've been doing this for so long, I haven't gotten hurt yet. These are all words that could be your last words. The reason we have the International Day of Remembrance or the International Day of Mourning, it's because hundreds of thousands of people are dying every year. If you look at the 900 plus deaths in Canada annually, that's 3 or 3.5 deaths per day. If you look at 2019, 344 worker deaths in Ontario. That's 1 death per day. That could probably be 100% avoidable. Do I get bitter? Yeah. I'm sure most safety professionals get the same way. We're sick and tired of doing the investigations because a lot of the times it's actually completely preventable. There's only so much enforcement can do because there's not that many of them out there in Ontario. We just hired 100 more. Now we're up to 500 and change inspectors for 800,000 known workplaces in the province of Ontario. And where do they hang out? Lately they hang out because of COVID. Lately they hang out because where's the cranes are. Wow. Lately they're hanging out where the cranes are and the big developments. But how many of those workers are dying that are on those fly-by-nighter renovation companies that are in my neighborhood with no COVID, with no safety? Shit, they don't even wear PPE. Those roofers that are tied off 30, 40 feet in the air. Sorry, not tied off 30, 40 feet in the air, replacing your roof. They're dying too. Why are they not being looked at? Why is there not some kind of roaming patrol for enforcement? Because if I call the rat line, by the time they show up, they're already gone, the job's done. Yeah, you can hear it in my voice. I'm pissed off and frustrated. 344 deaths in 2020 in the province of Ontario. It's way too many. Way too many. And a lot of it's preventable. But I'm asking you, I'm asking the people that watch this, I'm asking the people that follow, the people that comment, what do you think the problem is? What do you think the issue is? And how do you think we can fix it? I'm only one person. My safety team. The team, or my safety team. My safety coworkers. The other safety professionals. Right? We're here to help. Well, we get shit every day. We hear the same excuses every day. 344 deaths in 2020 in the province of Ontario. 1/3 of the deaths that happen on average in Canada. I don't even want to see what the stats are in the States. I don't want to see what the stats are in the West Indies. I don't want to see what the stats are in developing countries, where life seems to be cheaper. $250,000, that's the fine for killing a worker. That's all you're worth. To them. Is human life that meaningless? Seriously. What do you think we can do? We need to slow down. We need to do FLRAs. We need to do field level risk assessments. We need to do better training. We need to pay attention to the training. We need to enforce the training. We need to enforce the law. Find the worker. Find the supervisor. Find the employer. But get everybody. Just don't pick on the big job sites. Just don't pick on where there's tower cranes. And do your job. Do your part. You want to be a professional, want to get paid like a professional, act like a professional. And be smart, be safe, slow down, do your training, pay attention to your training, follow your training, and stop doing stupid shit. And you might make it home without a limp. You might make it home without going home in a box. It's really frustrating. It is really frustrating. I've done enough fatalities. I've done enough investigations for critical injuries. Stop doing stupid shit. You don't get hurt. But I'm serious. I want to hear your input. I want to hear the answers. What do you think we can do? What do you think the chief problem is? And then how are we going to fix it as a family, as a team? Safety and production. Safety and the worker. Safety and the employer. All right? What do you think?